As we look to 2021, the home is more than ever a place where we need to restore, revitalize, and rejuvenate. And color can help set the mood. Earlier, Sharon revealed Aegean teal as the Benjamin Moore color of the year. It's part of a collection, and now she's going to show us the other colors and how to use them all together. Hey, Sharon.
So, you know what, we started talking about our 2021 palette at the end of 2019, which is what we do, and even then, all of our conversations really centered around the idea that all of the colors and all of the materials and items that surround us are going to have to be about comfort. So the entire team, we all gravitated independently towards handmade tactile items and a real sort of warm, organic inspired color palette. So that's really where we netted out. So we have this beautiful range of 12 colors that have this sort of sun-baked quality to them, and again, that warmth that I think really resonates for us now and certainly going into 2021.
Well, I like when you say things like sun-baked, because there will be no baking on a beach anytime soon. So if you can just paint your walls that sun-baked look, that's a really good feel. And it's such a nice range, Sharon.
Isn't that so true, right? Like Sunbaked. So whether it's like the pale, the mid-tones, or those sort of deep, full-bodied colors, they kind of all have that quality. So you do want to surround yourself with them. Now, for some people, the idea of comfort is really minimalist, really pale, gentle colors. In fact, Trace, your studio bookshelf area is painted one of the pale colors from the palette, gray cashmere.
Very nice, you know, and it's beautiful. I love it with the white shelves, very calming.
Yeah, it is very calming, and I think I actually use that same color here in my set because it really sets the tone that I wanted for this look. So again, I've sort of picked some really beautiful, intentionally minimalist inspired furniture, and I have to thank Castle Life for all of the beautiful furniture in this set. They've let me pick everything, and everything has a bit of a minimalist feel to it, but a bit more of a softer approach. So you'll notice that everything kind of has a rounded edge. Even the bookshelf and the actual design of the bookshelves has this sort of rounded Scandinavian feel. So the textures, the sort of tactility of everything is really, really important, especially when you're using these pale colors. So you can have that minimalist approach, but kind of soften it with natural materials, lots of texture. And I think we're really embracing the idea of imperfection, which is wonderful when we're not necessarily redecorating all the time. You want to kind of bring in those natural pieces. And I think as far as the color palette, when you are going for a minimalist look, you know, we don't always style like we're doing a TV show every day. At least I don't. But if you can try and keep the color palette sort of all in that sort of similar, and you can see that I've sort of been inspired by some of the other colors from our palette and those soft mid-tone colors, just even for the accessories, the rugs, you know, all of those sort of clay natural pieces, and then it really helps to keep it sort of feel very calm. So it's also how you put things together and what the overall color palette is that you use.
I love that Scandi-inspired blonde wood, and I love what you've done with the first set, but now you've got a completely different look in another set. Show us that.
All right, so for some people, pale, minimal is their comfort. For others, it's deep, rich hues, a real sort of luxury, dramatic effect that can still be tranquil. So I really wanted to show how those darker colors can work from the palette. So I've used Silhouette on the back wall, which is this beautiful browny gray. So it's not too harsh, really, really nice backdrop. And then we're really bringing in all of those hues. So again, I was inspired by a lot of the darker tones in the palette and some of the mid-tones to bring that into the accessory so that they pop without being too much. So there's this idea sometimes with a dark space, it's like a little niche or a space in your home where you go and maybe get your greatest ideas, or you go and read a book. So I thought we could kind of bring in a mixture of more past and present decor items. So I've got some really beautiful vintage prints for the gallery wall mixed in with a traditional landscape painting, and then just sort of a canvas print. So you get the mix of modern and contemporary, and then also those sort of vintage pieces. So with the artwork, it's so important, and with a dark backdrop, even in this case, the cushion, my beautiful Frida, even that pops. So it's a really nice element to bring in those dark, cozy hues. For me, I would love to just crawl into this space.
Me too. That's actually, it's the total opposite of the first set, but that is my jam right there. I would be there all year long, reading my books, coming up with great ideas. Sharon, I love the space. Beautiful.
Yeah, thank you, Trace. And I think that there's really something for everyone. And I think the idea of comfort is so different. You know, the idea of color is so subjective. So for everybody, comfort's going to be a different color. And what I love about our palette this year is there's just a nice range of lights to darks and midtones that I think everybody can use as inspiration to find their own comfort zone. Again, whether it's light, midtone, or dark.
Listen, it's the first year we've had to do the presentation apart from each other, but I think it's been really beautiful to see the way you work the colors in your space and we work the colors here in the studio. So it's kind of nice. We got more than one or two ways to do it and found a great way to do it remotely. Thank you, Sharon.